Oh, champions. Is that clipping? Why is it all of a sudden louder? Did I press something? Let's have a look. Testing, testing, hey, yeah, yeah. Testing, testing, hey, yeah, yeah. Testing, testing, hey, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I hit the game button. How the flippin' heck are we all? Just doing a day of tedious work, so I thought we could talk some shit while I'm doing it, eh? Let me know if you got me. Do you like my screwdriver? They say size doesn't matter. They say size doesn't matter. I'm just putting back together that Cort acoustic thing from the other day. Just appeared to be a couple of dirty connectors. Sounds like a band name, Dirty Projectors. How you going, Mark? How you going, Colby? Scotty? Paul? What's crack-a-lackin', as I say over here? John? So late over here. Where are you? It's 3 PM over here. 2 hours to go, champions, till I can shut the doors and get the real work done. It's been pretty quiet today anyway, but you're always on edge when the doors are open, like, oh, a customer could walk in any minute, so yeah, it can be a bit hard to get into the mental space where you need to really concentrate. Wes, how you going, legend? Sounding good? Looking good? Well, you know, all considered. Sorry, I'm chopping the top of my head off a bit here because I'm going to be sitting down in a moment, just getting rid of this amp. Andy, Pete, Justin, how you going? Haven't seen you for a while, Justin. Lyle, it's Lyle's editing time. I'm sorry to interrupt with your work schedule, but good to have you here, fella. How good's that screwdriver? I got it for working on PA speakers, because often the holes are like really recessed, deep set into the rear casing. So it helps to have a big fuck off screwdriver. Did your first fret level today? Good man. On one of your guitars, I hope, Scotty. You're not practicing on the general public, I hope. Lumgrod finally caught a live chat. Are you in Europe? This time is a bit more suited to the European viewers. Late afternoon, evening over here. Europe's one of the hardest to hit in terms of schedules and time zones. US works out pretty good if I hit it up pretty early in the morning, but Europe's a bit tricky. Fuck you. Run, run, run. Gotcha. Oh, you're American too. Okay. America. And I'll need that for a moment. Okay, we've got machine screw, wood, machine. Raised head, countersunk. Raised head, countersunk. Raised head, countersunk. Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. Fuck yeah. Okay, so I should have more raised head screws. It looks like they are cheaping out. It is Cort. And they use some just truss head screws on the end there. I can see it is a bit flattened in that area, so yeah, that makes sense. Basil the Great. Well, I did it pretty early. Took took your and John's suggestions very much to heart for the last one getting there. I can't remember what I suggested. Assume you're talking about me. Maybe not. Do I have to wait for you, honey? Where's the hole? Go on, get your jokes out. Get your hole finding jokes out. Go on. Okay, that's missed entirely. Pity the poor soul that's got to screw these together all day long. Or the soles. Oh no, you fucker, where's right. Watched a ton of videos from Ted Woodford and I already knew about doing full fall away and stuff. We used to call the biggest screwdriver we had our watch repair screwdriver. Yeah, you can repair it like from way over there. Could have kept going during lockdown repairing watches because you can do it for the next postcode. Today I took apart and cleaned, fixed my old Magewell Z12 mixer. They were good, the old ones. They were really solid. To make switching between mic cab and direct modelling easier. That old Mackie stuff was really good until they were forced to compete with Behringer, who ripped off all their designs and called it Xenix instead of Onyx. They're a real bunch of scumbags, Behringer. I refuse all Behringer stuff, partially just because of the lack of ethics on behalf of the company. Got no time for their bullshit. And here I am fixing a court. Put some hair around it, you'll find it then. So we got a viewer from Germany. Who was that? That was Bad Karma from Germany. Where are you from Germany, Bad Karma? Where are you from in Germany, I mean? Man, it's like just over 10 years since I've been to Germany. It literally feels like I did it a few weeks ago. It's so vivid. Something about when you're traveling, your brain stores that shit so vividly in your head. And sometimes when it's been a while, you think it's a dream. You're like, did I really go there and do that? And then you look at the photos and yeah, your brain is imagining it just as vividly. I remember we, North Coast, Wilhelmshaven. What are they known for? What's their claim to fame in Wilhelmshaven? What was it? Wilhelmshaven. I got a feeling that you just made that easier for a Aussie to say. It's probably got shit above the O's and A's and shit. Well, there's no O's. That's not it. That's still not it. Oh, right. That's what she says, yeah. I'm forgetting my own joke from 5 seconds ago. A lot easier if you just don't have 20 whiskies beforehand. Rightio, so if you remember correctly from last time when I was taking the transformer out, I dropped the T-nut down inside the cabinet, so I had to remove the speaker to reinstall the T-nut, which was just floating around in the cabinet. So now I've got to put the speaker and the grill back in. So just screw check, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the speaker. Nothing else floating around in there, no, it's all glued together as well as, what do they call it? Glued, screwed and tattooed. Oh, I like this band. It's got a real 90s vibe. Who is it? English teacher? got a real shoegazer. Oh no, it's band's called Mama. Welcome to my blue sky. It's got a real what's the band I'm thinking of? The chick band. Not Veruca Salt. A little bit Veruca Salt. No, I always pronounce the umlauts in Motley Crue. What would that make it sound like? Motley Crue. Cool, well, they put them there. That's what they get. Motley Crue. It's like that meme from, God, would have been late 2000s. Oh my god. Oh my god, Motley Crue. Elastica, that's it. Bazza. Mate, you've gone up in my, my little, leader card of helpful chatters. Elastica, exactly. They were Aussie, weren't they? That makes them sound Canadian. It makes them sound like, what do they call them? Newfies. Newfies. Audio. Almost sounds like Swedish Chef. As you may be able to tell, champions, we're not going to be doing much serious content today. I'm just needed someone to chat to, you know. Spent all morning trying to figure out a problem with that friggin' Ace Radio Sonata. I'm getting really tired of having to re-engineer amps that were just designed wrong. Like back in the day, they just if it made sound at all, it went out. If it oscillated at certain settings or whatever, they were just like, eh, whatever, still makes sound. And then you bring it here, and it's kind of the whole layout's presenting issues and stuff. It's like, man, where do you draw the line? Just because it's old doesn't mean it's good, unfortunately. But yeah, just massive time sink, man. Just lots of unbillable hours tracing stuff and figuring things out. And then for something completely different. Man with 3 buttocks. Is that... Monty Python, was it? One of the best albums from the 90s, yeah. I love Alaska. Yeah, they're so good. Oh, they're Brits, were they? We had a band like that. Dead Star. Yeah, we had a band called Dead Star that was like the Australian answer to Elastica. And they had, well, I think 2 big songs. I think they just got back together. They had like a bunch of albums, but they only made it to mainstream radio with 1 or 2 songs, really. Dead Star, yeah. I love that shoegazery 90s stuff. It just takes me back to a time when I didn't give a fuck. I'd love to go back to that time. Python, yeah. I thought so. I haven't watched that in years, and I think last time I watched it I didn't fully understand it because I was still a teenager. A fish. I had a horrible feeling that I didn't reconnect the speaker because I was talking. But no, I remember putting them on. I think I'm going senile, champions. I'll give this a quick test. I always test stuff once I put it back together because you never know if something becomes dislodged or whatever. Very embarrassing when the customer comes to pick it up and no signal. They just look at you like, really? And then you look at yourself in the mirror and go, really? Alright. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna go to the pub. Hello from Texas. Hello to Texas. Nope, not 5-volt peak to peak again. I keep forgetting that. This thing defaults to 5-volt peak to peak. No, thank you. Go 200 millivolts again. Master. There it is. Frequency, 1 kilohertz. Got to turn the output on. Got me again. Oh, it's in pitch with the song too. Alright, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. 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 Alright, sweet. Need to binge Python again. I binge stuff when I'm sick. But that used to be when I had sick days, like when I was full-time employed. Whereas these days, you just don't have sick days because you can't afford to. If you stop working for whatever reason, you're just that much further behind. So even if you're not showing your face at the shop, you still got to do work. Design or ordering or invoicing or reconciliation, which we put off until the last minute. Bookwork, I mean, you know, like accounting. I haven't even checked my overhead camera yet. It looks a bit overexposed to me. Workbench. Alright. No input. Come on, panty boy. Hey, there we are. Oh, unintentionally well-framed screwdriver. Customer came into the shop the other day and said, "Oh, that's very un-Brad-like music on the radio." And Michelle was at the front counter and she said, "What do you mean? He listens to all sorts of weird shit." It was like M.Zuiko or something was on the radio. Robin's band before she went... Was it Robin? No. Roshin Murphy's band before she went solo. Screwdriver has a bit of a woody. Yeah, but it's thin. Deluxe reverb sounding magnificent, beautiful, Mick. Oh, I forgot to ring you last night too. Hey, why don't we just discuss it here? So, I read your message. Yeah, we'll see how those caps go. Everything in your message made sense. And like I say, I'm just compiling information from multiple sources to compare. And so I think Wizard's one of those brands where no two amps were sort of identical. Everything had a slight difference to it. So I'm getting together some documents of multiple blokes globally, all my bros, and I'm going to compare them all, see what the differences are, see where this sits in the scheme of that, and sort of triangulate a position in the middle that's going to sound great, but without being too far from the original, because as you say, I think there are some mods in there. I don't think they're particularly misguided mods. I think there may have been some film caps unnecessarily replaced or maybe value tweaks, which is fine. We can take them back. We can make it look pretty. All I need is some white neutral cure RTV silicon and we can make it look like new, and black ink for the connectors, for the turrets and all of that. That's not a problem. I found these. So you know the FYM boards, the fuck you Marshalls. Here are some, fix your Marshalls. Here are some that Shell's halfway through building. Let's check her soldering out. I haven't looked up close yet. So some of these I soldered the sockets. I'm going to get an ultrasonic to clean the flux off. Flux on, flux off. Kind of hard to see with the black, but the soldering's getting there. Might be a few that need a bit of a touch up, like a bit of excess solder on those ones there, a little bit balled up. But you know, for a first time soldering, she's doing better than some fuckers that have been in the trade 20 years. So yeah, minimal touch up required. The board's not Michelle herself, that's another matter entirely. But yeah, she just chucks her podcast in and gets them populated, and I just check through them. But anyway, the standoffs that can get destroyed, I actually found where they come from. They are a different colour. They are still nylon, I believe. But yeah, that's the part. So I might sell them as 6-packs or whatever they are, however many per board, just in case you lose them or they're a bit mangled, because they fit perfectly in the holes of the original board's positions and diameters. So they are a part that's still available. I might pop them on the website. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? I got the DSL-40 from the other week, I think. We checked it out. So essentially what it comes down to is there's been someone chasing problems in this thing. You can see you got caps floating up in midair. Feels like the leads are about to pull out of the cap body too, I think. Yeah, there's a bit of movement there. So essentially it comes down to the fact that there's conductive glue causing crackling and all sorts of shit. And some of these parts aren't even soldered, I don't think. So we're going to remove the board, remove the caps, replace some of the more disgusting ones. These snap-in ones, because they're larger diameter, I don't think the glue would have made it to the actual connections, so we're probably right there. But over here, these ones, I think we've got conduction happening in the actual glue surface. So look, not too bad to remove this board. A lot of connectors and stuff, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, we got the approval on this one, so I'm just gonna. It's a known factor. We've got a couple of other open-ended jobs that require bloody too much thinking, so I'm just doing some jobs to keep some customers happy in the meantime until I get back onto those more difficult ones. The ones that require a lot of investigative work and therefore time. Alright, so have you got the same amount of connectors as that? They're using the JST connectors still, the EH series that you find on the JCM 2000 boards. No, they've got a different amount of pins, so that makes that one easy. Sometimes if you're making stuff for easy assembly, even if you don't have to, it's good to use a different amount of pins on neighbouring connectors, just so you know which one's which at a glance, like they physically can't fit. Do I have to remove all the main stuff? That can be a bit of a pain in the ass. I think it's going to be easier to just get the board on the desk, yeah. So let me just take some quick photos of that. Might just undo that zip tie. G'day Alex, what's going on? What's going on, sweetheart? Double J is my go-to for work radio, yeah. It's got that cool vibe of like, it's got a bit of a mix, but a bit of just chill stuff and a bit of, and you learn who's touring and who's releasing stuff. It's good to keep a finger on the pulse, finger up the bum of the music industry, or what's left of it. I was talking to some local music shop owners, bigger guys than me, and they were saying, yeah, we're going alright. It said something about been around for a while. I said, yeah, you started when there was a fucking music industry. No wonder you made it big. Like, I've got to try and survive on what's left of the music industry, which is basically nothing. Hobbyists. We love it. But back then there was actually some pretty big coin in the music industry in Australia in the 90s and early 2000s. These days people seem to think that music should be free and no one should get paid for their efforts. Don't know why. coming from the transformer. What warnings are they? I thought, holy fuck, does this thing have a choke? But no, it doesn't. That's what that 220 ohm resistor there is. I generally don't have chokes on any of their more affordable models. Oop, just touched the mic, sorry. Just get another container. Looking forward to getting those latest batch of Marshall boards done so I can reclaim the containers that I use for the components. Got like 20 containers over there or something. They're the ones I normally use for screws and whatever. I just gotta eat more Chinese and Thai takeout basically. And Indian. Had Indian for the first time Sunday night in ages. And it was really good. I don't know why I don't eat more Indian. We had a vegetarian friend with us, and because a lot of Indians are vegetarian, it's a good place to go with vegetarians because they've got a lot of options. Emu Plains bloke. Alan, are you an Emu Plains bloke? You poor bastard. What am I talking about? Got our own brewery, mate. Open ender, pain in the ass. Open ender? Oh yeah, the jobs. I was thinking, because an open end is what we also call just spanners. Generically, we call in Australia that's an open ender because one end's open. See chrome. Can't hand a man a grand spanner. Goes all the way down to 6mm. That's it. Gotta have good spanners, champions. None of that chunky fucking Sunday market bullshit. $2 each. I'm flying to India this weekend. Shit, you doing it for family or work or? Vegetables are carbs. Carbs turn up sugar in the bloodstream. Not all vegetables are carbs, bro. What are you going to eat then? If you can't eat vegetables, you can't eat meat. Just going to wither away. Or are you one of these only eat meat guys? Scotty! Took the PR up to the locals for a set on Friday with a bunch of mates. She sings, no smoke. Toned for days. Excellent. Work. First time going. Wow. So, with a name like Dhamaraja, do you have Indian heritage or like... Hey Brad, do you mod Friedman amps? Would like to add a thump pot to my JJ amp. We can arrange that with Dave's permission. I don't like modifying amps without just running it by the manufacturer first. Well, for the blokes I know anyway. If it's a production amp from a megacorp, I don't give a shit. But when I'm on first name terms with the designer, just partially because there could be like reasons why there isn't that in the first place, you know, too. Pork chop sandwiches. Where did I hear that before? Is that a comedy thing? I was in Oz last month, was stuck in ACT. Ugh. ACT. The fucking fridge of Australia. There used to be a shit ton of music shops in it, in Canberra. Or ACT, mainly around Dixon. Don't know why. There's like one pub there. All the politicians probably get free piss, so they don't go out. Vegetables don't really do shit for sugar, I know from experience. Oh yeah, well Alex is, are you like full on diabetic, Alex? Or just, I'd hate to talk about your medical issues on stream. I should probably shut up. But yeah, you brought it up. Nope, from New England. Okay. Long story, but it's from a funny twist on the G.I. Joe PSA cartoons from the 70s. G.I. Joe PSA. I've heard it somewhere before, yeah. ACT is a shithole, apart from bent spoke. Oh yeah, bent spoke's down there, eh? Type 1 diabetic. So you got that new funky blood sugar monitor, don't you, Alex? How's it? Does it work alright? Can you see it go up as soon as you have a beer? I do have to get away from the carbs. The missus just keeps planning meals with a fuck ton of carbs in them. Oh yeah, we'll have this and it's pasta dish, and we'll have this and it's full of potatoes. Oh fucking hell, can we just... I love having a steak with just char grilled broccolini, or beans with salmon, pepper crusted salmon, preferably grilled over flame. That's the shit I'm talking about. Yo. There used to be another cool brewery called Wig and Pen with car scales. That's very hard to find car scales. G'day Jesse, what's going on, champion? All your gear good? Is that what your doctors told you, is they never solve the problem? No, I never go to the doctor. I don't have to. Nothing wrong with me, mate. Oh, tumbleweed. Is that tumbleweed? Yes, tumbleweed. I'm playing the golden double J today. You have real good days on there. Great War... Yeah, I have been to the War Memorial. We were working there. I was refitting all the St. George and Bank of Melbourne and IMB banks. We were fitting a video conferencing system to all of them. So you'd go to a mall, you'd install like a cupboard and like 2 panels, and then if you had time you'd go to the next one and install like a cupboard and 2 panels, but you had to do it after hours. So they'd send me there on like a Thursday, so I'd drive down from Sydney with a ute loaded with cabinets, like 5-6 cabinets, to try and get 5-6 branches done. Well, not try, get them done. So you could go on the weekend when it was shut, but during the week you couldn't start work until 5:30 when they cleared the tills. So you'd be sort of in limbo mode all day in Arvo, and then you get to the job site at like 4:30 or something and start. It was like you're on the running blocks, like your feet down, you're down on the ground ready to go and install this shit, get in, get out, and get to the next job before fucking midnight. And then you just had nothing to do the whole next day. So me and all the other tradies were just at a loss, and we couldn't go drinking because we had to work that night. So we went to like Questacon, we went to all the museums and all the stuff down. So we kept bumping into each other's tradesmen, and we ended up like hanging out. It was pretty cool. And then when it was all over, we did have that night there. So we went to one of the Irish pubs there and had a few pints. They're all pretty cool blokes. Couple of dickheads, but you just don't talk to them. There's always 1 or 2 dickheads, eh? In any situation in life. And if there's no other dickheads, well, guess what? You're the dickhead. Freestyle Libre 2 Plus. Sounds like a amp modeler or something. I've already dropped a screw. Fucking hell. Where are you, little prick? Did I? Yeah, it'll show up. Silver. Sucks when you drop black screws on this floor. They just disappear. But they always seem to hit the tip of your shoe and just disappear under the shelving. In a little crevice. Like, you couldn't do it if you tried, but they do when you don't try. Oh, this song's funny. You are a radar detector. Loving the ET10. Yeah, it does, eh? I told you, man. Told you it's a great speaker. It's actually Lyle gave me a heads up on the ET series a while back, and yeah, like we were saying, it's probably not worth going a 12-inch in there. The only reason you'd probably go a 12 is just so you had a wider selection of drivers, but you're not getting any advantage out of a 12-inch. That's what she said. No, that's what she didn't say. In that small cabinet, there's going to be marginal increases in low-end response. at best. Okay, what's holding you back? Feels like something's like glued. Oh no, there we go. Why for you not come? Ah, the octal valves were hitting the rear PCB. The rear pickup. Look at that. So much room for activities. Alex, design a board, stat. I want copies in production by the end of the day. You gotta make sure you drink plenty of water, as it doesn't really like the normal machine. It's you sometimes forget to drink as much water in winter because you're not hot. But yeah, I've been drinking probably, I don't know, 2 litres a day. Not counting beer either, champions. Beers don't count. It's actually negative water. Yeah, with all these Princetons with 12s crammed in them, very diminished returns. Yeah, I think the only reason I'd do it, Lyle, is if you just had a fuck ton of 12-inch drivers floating around and you wanted to use one. Because the choices for 10 inches are somewhat more limited. Well, you got the green, the gold back G10 or whatever, the Celestian. I hear that's pretty good. And don't they make a 10-inch cream back as well? I'll give you a 10-inch cream back. Well, that's basically what the ET10 is. And the Alnico blue, I think, clashes with one of the Transformers from memory. One Day Design. What is he, Fender? Almost. Much higher quality though. He's like a dog with a bone, the old Alex, with his PCB designs. He just puts the work in, bro. Head down, ass up. Hair straight back. Because he's actually got some and I don't. I did the Origin boards in 3.5 hours. Bullshit. The board layout. It took me fucking ages to do the Marshall one. It took me like 4 days. Mind you, I hadn't done a PCB for ages at the time, and I wanted to make sure they were perfect because I knew they were going into production, and there was going to be hell to pay if there was issues. What the fuck? I thought that hole was a bit furry. Down here. There's like this sort of dag floating around. Have a look at the bottom. There's a big fat bit of solder hanging down. What the fuck's that all about? What the? Someone throwing a bit of solder through? I don't know, man. You try and figure out previous text work, it drives you insane. You just bloody get rid of it. Celestian G10 sucks. Oh, does it? Okay. I don't think I've got one of them. I just thought it might be an interesting other option. What's it? What is it? Just a bit spiky? Just a bit... Yeah. Alnico 10 gold. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of, though. The one with the bell back. I'm just getting my names mixed up. You know, some bad ones there. I dumped 3 base breakers, a Mesa TA... I dumped 3 base breakers, a Mesa TA30 and a Marshall code for a 72 baseman. Fuck, that's a good move, bro. Those amps sound like you dodged a bullet on that one. Good move, just in a nick of time. I hope you got a decent price for them, but I feel sorry for whoever bought them. Base breakers, fucking hell, they're a pain in the ass to work on. And some of them have that auto bias shit, which no one's ever got to work properly. Just give up. Stop trying to make auto bias, champions. No one's ever done it right. There's too many little bits and bobs and current sense shit and processes and stuff that doesn't like high voltages right next to shit high current, high voltage, high temperature. Never gonna work. Just stop trying, please. Greenback or nothing. Don't they make a 10-inch greenback? Just lift the negative feedback and use an overdrive pedal as needed. John, anyone want to talk to me about converting my 69 Princeton to a 5F11 Vibrolux? Oh, you'd have to change a lot of stuff there, bro. That's the transformer, both transformers, I think, from memory. I think the Princeton transformer would be, hang on, are we talking a Tweed Princeton? So that's like a really low voltage, really low current transformer. Oh yeah, get out of the basement 10. So I didn't pick up the basement 10, I just saw basement 50. And then the late 90s concert, I think you mean concert. Or late 90s concert. I've had the concert 2, and they need a bit of work, but you can get them to be a bit of a beast in sheep's clothing. All right, so here's that cap that's floating up in the you know, outer atmosphere, the stratosphere. So I'm not sure what happened there, because they have soldered it from the bottom. See, there's no solder on the top, but all the solder's on the bottom. So is it lead spacing? Yes, it's lead spacing. So instead of ordering the correct parts, they've just gone shove it in, collect money, move on. Quite admirable from a accountant's point of view, but not from anyone else's. Just got to change my tip. Like, you should see what happens to these tips when they fail. I've still got the old one in my bin here. Yes, I do. So the constant action of moving it around and just the chemical action of the flux too, which is slightly not caustic, but it is a bit aggressive. The tips just develop a little ball cavity in them, which forms like cavitation, and then it fights itself as it tries to suck, and that cavitation just makes it get worse and worse, and eventually the wall gets so thin that the whole tip just collapses, and they don't last that long because it's the sensor temp version, not the IntelliHeat, which shuts itself down when the iron's not in use, so it saves your tip. You shove it in with your fingers and see how long you can hold on for. Just let that warm up for a bit. Jazz choruses hiss. Yeah, some are worse than others. I think the lower power ones are better from memory. I think the 77 and upwards have issues with hiss. Various different reasons for that across the years too. I think the early ones had some silly stuff going on. The later ones had some gain structure things. They just run the whole preamp in like high impedance. Ball cavity. Michelle, what are you doing? You're supposed to be working, bro. That's my lovely wife there in the comments, as you may have noticed. I was just feeling lonely because I keep getting neglected by Michelle because she only pays attention to her real husband, netball. Oop. Slip. Put a nice scratch in the board. That's good, wasn't it? Alright, so let's remove that one. 22 microfarad, 450 volt. So I'm not sure if it had a failure or if it had glue contamination, but either way, that new one's not mounted good, and it's a jammy con cheapy thing, probably from Tektronix. It felt to me like the one of the leads was pulling out. Maybe not. There is a sort of clicking happening there though, like it's been under undue stress. Anyway, lead spacing's inappropriate, so we'll put a better one on there. JC is a very outdated design, yeah. Let's see if I can loosen that glue off with a bit of ISO, the blackened stuff. Just pop a bit on there. Wait for it to cook. Alright, so we've got 22 450, 22 450 across the board. We've got another one of those jammy cons. It looks like that one was shoved down on the board a bit harder. You love a good ball cavity. Everyone, you gotta find a woman that's just as immature as you are. Otherwise she'll be sighing and rolling her eyes at you all the time instead of joining in and having fun. I would use lead free, but someone's already used leaded all over this anyway, so away we go with the 6040. Oh, there is a wider spacing on that one cap. Why? Blackstar amps any good? Are they similar to all the unreliable modern amps that have low quality parts? I have a Blackstar HT1. They are built way down to a price, yes. Pretty much everything is these days. People keep asking why we're so cynical. It's because everything's built down to a price, I'm sorry to say. But having said that, used to have a lot of failures initially. Blackstar are one of the companies that actually address some problems instead of pretending they're not there and putting their fingers in their ears. So I seem to see a lot less of them now. The early ones, like, they are built like DVD players. A lot of surface mount parts, solid state. They're basically a distortion pedal inside a valve amp. So you've got a valve output stage, you've got a solid state phase inverter. I think you got a valve cathode follower and that's about it. And all the rest is just like a guitar pedal in an amp. Which is not good or bad, I'm just saying it's not a true valve amp. Not, you know, if to me they sound really dark and filtered. It's that weird, like, over filtered distortion where they suck all the air out of the signal, and you're left with this sort of homogeneous. I don't know. Almost sounds like somehow sounds like a modeler. Fujicon. Right, so that glue, none of that glue was touching the component legs, so our problem probably wasn't in that area. I kind of want to have a look under all of them. With Black Stars, I mean, does it really matter if they're that good? Because they cost like $300. Like, they're not going to last you forever, no, but it's a $300 amp, like 300 or 400, whatever they are. Even the Marshall DSL1, I think it is, or DSL5, I forget which one. One of them has almost identical circuit to the Black Star, like you can, because you can't find a schematic for the Marshall, but you can actually use the Black Star schematic for troubleshooting. They're that close, like Marshall just directly ripped them off. Yeah, it's a real dark tone, Mick. Like I say, it's like they do a lot of filtering. Richard, totally agree about a woman as equally immature. Wife and I are both childish. Yeah, it's the way to be. It's the only way to stay sane. You have to have everything set up, though, PC, interface, speakers, what if I just want to play real quick. Yeah, I don't know. Have you got one of those amps, or are you asking for our advice as to whether or not to buy one? If you've already got one, just play it, whatever. They're the ones with the 12BH7 as the output device, I believe. It's got them both running, 2 triodes and push-pull. Fucking look at that. Good soldering, champ. Bigger the gum, the better the job. Good work. Alright, so to clean this area down here, I'm gonna have to remove those large caps because they're like, see all that black shit down there. I reckon we're getting some action happening from that, because that's a high voltage area too. It's across the 315 volt 330 mic caps that are in series. No, it's talking generally versus using an amp sim versus just using an amp. Personally, I like just having an amp to plug into. Like, you can have all the plugins and sims under the sun, but yeah, if you just want to plug in, you don't want to have bullshit. Computers are just fucked for any creativity. You fire it up and then Windows tells you it's got to update. Then the software tells you it wants to update, and then your fucking email icon flashes and you can't think about music until you see what the email is. It's not very conducive to creativity. Nah, son. Oh, it's a new Future Island song. He's got such a weird voice. Oh no, it's not. Different band. Sorry. Any Future Islands fans? Why do you have email on your studio PC? I don't have a studio PC. I've just got a PC. I don't have a studio. Oh look, if you're using a computer like specifically as studio stuff, yeah, but if you just want to plug in and play as... I'm not talking as a music producer here. I got the feeling that he was talking about just as a sole guitarist, right? Which is what he's reflecting in his comments, so... Yeah, I know, but I'm not talking about being a music producer. I'm talking about just playing guitar for 5 minutes. Like, if you wanted to sit down and play guitar for 15 minutes while you're waiting for your dinner to cook or something, are you telling me that firing the computer up and everything's easier than flicking a switch and picking up a guitar? Like, whatever. If it's easy for you, fine. I'm not starting an argument. I'm just... Can't say shit on the internet anymore. Someone's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there's nothing comparable with the power of a computer music production suite. It puts ultimate power of creativity, often for almost no cost, in anyone's hands. It's unbelievable the power we've got these days. But I ask you, is the music like 1,000 times better than it was in the 90s before everyone had a DAW? Not really. Hey Brad, to make any acoustics without pickups. They do, however, there's no point buying one to get around the soundboard weakness issue, because even the ones that don't have pickups have the same cutouts. So they don't make special tops for the ones without pickups. They just use the same tops and same bridges for everything, so it won't get you around that issue. Yeah, some people need complete restriction, but other people, I mean, you look at like Trent Reznor's studio. He's got every gadget under the sun, you know. Then you look at some people and they have a Strat, a bashed up old Vibrolux, and that's it. And they still make amazing stuff. It's just different strokes for different blokes, champions. Alright, I'm going to remove the rest of those 220s. Fix up, look sharp. Yeah, you're right. I need to forget about using a computer for streaming and go back to editing film shot on a 16mm. I can probably get more views. All the hipsters would love that shit. It's like they love cassettes and Porter Studios. I'm really going to have to remove everything on this, because we're going to have to clear up that glue. Is that a broken trace? Man, these guys have got to learn how to solder, eh? Or just get better gear. Yeah, I can sort out your mating for you. If there's any any issues with it. People just lose their fucking shit whenever I post about a recent bridge repair. They're like, it's not happening, you're lying, you're making it up. It's a false flag. Well, whatever, bro. You do you, man. Stick your head back in the sand, I don't care. I'm not telling people not to buy Maton, I'm just saying I'm repairing another Maton. People shadow box about that shit though, create arguments that you're not creating in their head, and then fight with themselves, and then blame us for it. Press the button again. The bloody micro switch in it's really hair trigger. You got glue on you? Yes, you do. Cruel Sea got a new album out. Fuck, I didn't know that. Have to get a copy of that. Love the Cruel Sea. Oh, Tex. Jesus. Must be from the factory, that one, because it's got the squash leads as the bottoming out against the board mechanism. See how the leads are really squashed? Film the same video 700 times at every exposure just to be sure. Just be happy you live rent-free in people's heads. At least nice to live rent-free somewhere. You can still get Super 8 film cartridges, I think you mean let alone 16mm film. Film might die within, when the few Hollywood give it up, but they buy enough to keep the industry going. I think a lot of it just goes to consumers too, because it's like a hobby thing, yeah? Hey Brad, what do you think of speaker soakers and how to use them properly and not damage the head unit? As I've heard, if used incorrectly, you can reduce the life of valves, or your opinion on them. So I think you mean attenuators there. It's sort of the official term for them, I guess. But yeah, I get what you're saying. They can serve a purpose. However, if you're running your amp flat out, your valves aren't going to last as long, of course. So they do wear everything down a bit. It's the as far as the amp's concerned, it's like you're running it flat out. And there are some that don't have an impedance curve that is very closely matched to any speakers on the market. So some amps can handle that, others go unstable and maybe oscillate and burn shit out. Seems to be the screen grids that always fail first. But if you're going to use one, use it on like a 50 or 20 watt amp. Don't get a 100 watt head and crank it up and dime it and then wonder why stuff breaks. So many people use like dimed 100 watt heads with dummy loads. Just seems like if you got a 50 watt head, you're already halfway there. I mean, they're cool. Personally, I just like the sound of a well-designed preamp, distortion, and I'm not a big fan of like phase inverter distortion. Things get a bit crispy. It can work if you're going for that akadaka tone, but often these guys are playing like metal. I suppose just try it out. There's good ones like the Sir Reactive Load is a good one. The other one, not Rocktron, the Rivera Rock Crusher is another decent one from what I gather. But some of the, I think some of the Boss ones, the earlier Wazacraft ones or whatever they are, have some pretty suspect impedance curves, which may make your amp not play nice. 71mm IMAX. Hercules guitar hangers. I think they're the good ones, the Hercules ones, Pete. I think I've got some Hercules stands here, and they're pretty solid. I stated a Super 8 motif. Yeah. If they didn't have that ugly yellow section, I'd buy a bunch of them. Oh, you've had 2 breaks so far. Luckily, the internal screw keeps the guitar from falling. Also, Hercules are legends and replace them out of warranty. Really? Tube amp expander core. I've got the Tube amp Doctor. I just bought one when I was doing a CE order just to see what they're like. I had a customer that had one that blew up. However, upon reverse engineering the issue, it looks like someone plugged the amp into the output to speaker instead. Or was it the line out? No, I think they plugged the amp into the speaker output instead of plugging it into the amp input, and that burned out this pot. But I got a new one and a spare one, and there was no other damage. So that was user error. They plugged into there instead of there with the amp. Yeah, it goes good. It's good for testing amps that are going to get used for that kind of purpose, just so you can sort of hear what they get breaking up, because your ears get a bit of fatigue when you crank up to get output stage distortion. So these are good for like tweed amps and stuff, just to make sure they sound good, because if you're voicing an amp or tweaking it or whatever, your ears can start to lie to you after a couple of hours of like high volume listening, or even a couple of minutes, you know. You start to lose a bit of sensitivity to hear the fluff under the notes, I guess you could say. It's the new smaller version. Okay. See how it goes. I don't know why they keep trying to make attenuators really small. You should kind of... Their job's to turn power into heat. You should be giving it a bit of room. Oppenheimer was amazing. We didn't get to see it at IMAX, but there is an IMAX in Sydney. Should see what's on there. We're going to stay in there in a week or two, just as a weekend, like a, what do you call it, staycation. Shell and I just stayed in the city for a few nights, going around and checking out the sights and Vivid and restaurants and bit of bar hopping, that kind of thing. See if I can drag her into the museums too. Need an attenuator for camera. Well, they pretty much overdub everything now anyway, don't they? Almost. It's a nice little touch. They must have a high voltage transistor there. And they've put little slots between the terminals. Stop arcing over. It's good to have as anything high voltage. Courtney Barnett. I'd really like to have a radio station. That'd be awesome. I wonder what's involved in setting up a internet radio station, or even a DAB. Well, DAB you'd have to transmit, but anyone in theory could set up an internet radio station. It's just the licensing and stuff that you'd have to sort out. Playing up in Broke, New South Wales this weekend if you're free and bored. Broke? It's fucking like 8 hours away, isn't it? Internet radio is dead easy. Yeah, I'm just talking on the licensing to be able to use the copyright material, like get the royalties to the bands and whatnot. Broke, how far is Broke? Emu Plains to Broke. I am about like 3 months behind at work, so I don't think I'll be going anywhere this weekend. Oh, it's only up near Newcastle. Yeah, it's only it's not even 2.5 hours away. It's fucking nothing. Mind you, I'll have to have a million beers, so I'd have to stay up there. Pecolben. That's fun to say. Cessnock, up near the mines. Gotta go see my aunt at Singleton again. I haven't seen her for a few months. Several months. Really? These services say you can rent to do most of it for you. Wow. It'd be so eclectic, you'd never know what you get. Oh, this one's starting to get a bit of a cavity happening too. These tips really don't last long. Just putting it out there and good for a million beers. Fucking tempting, Scotty, but Jesus Christ, I'd kick my own ass on Monday. I'm so behind, man. I can't catch up. Every job's just like full on redesign, rebuild, just to get stable. I've got to stop taking these shitbox amps. Someone around here is getting all the easy jobs and it ain't me. Like I just had a guitar going out of tune. Turns out I had to cut out like a massive section of the body and like reroute everything for a Floyd Rose because the whole area was like hacked up and had paddle pop sticks glued in and shit to try and fix it with PVA glue and fuck knows, it looked like clag glue or something. It's like, what are these people doing? Every job's just hacked up. Alright, got you that time, you little bastard. It'll be time for a new filter. I don't get the need for an attenuator. If you need one, you bought the wrong amp. Yeah, true. Yeah, to a degree. I got to throw out PS2. PS2. Or that new 2 notes box, etc. But what the fuck is bedroom volume? Look, I think they're good if you've got like a Tweed Deluxe or something, and it's just loud enough for gigs. But when you're at home, you want to crank it down a little bit. Because nothing really gets that messy loose overdrive like a 5E3. Look, I've just got a little 1 in 10 attenuator, purely resistive, that I built for like nothing. I think Scotty built one of them too, didn't you, Scotty? I think I vaguely remember sending you, not plans, but I sent you the parts for it or something, did I? But I tried to find it the other day and I can't find the bastard, so I don't know what I've done with it. Put it somewhere. Put it somewhere safe, champions. You know what happens then. I need Dad's short ass ladder. 1 second. Hoik! Handy little ladder. Where the fuck did I put it? I love looking on this top shelf because I've got stuff up there I've completely forgotten about. It's like a little surprise every time. Oh yeah, I remember that. I don't know what I've done with it. Oh, there it is. Hey! So I just got a little box. Nothing wrong with getting a little box. Not size, like the amount. Jesus. Yeah, it's just one of those things you can screw it to the inside of your cab. Amp, speaker. Couldn't be much simpler than that. So you plug that into the, you plug that into the amp. That goes to the speaker outlet of the amp. Your speaker goes in there and the box warms up. So that's only, I think they're 50 watt, 25 watt resistors or something, but because the box isn't the most heat efficient, you only run them, derate it by about 50%. I did love it on the 5E3. There you go, Scotty. It's not like bedroom tone, but it's about perceptively half as loud as when it's cranked. So it's a 1 in 10, so it divides, it's a 10 to 1 divider, basically, purely resistive. But it works. It's not reactive. Can't get a lot simpler than that, can you? May not be the most boutique thing going around, but it does the job. They're 50 watt resistors, which is, I think I bought them for dummy loads for testing. I was going to put it on a big heat sink with a fan. But yeah, like I say, you could run this to like 25 watt or something, because obviously it's not the best heat sink going around, but I've cranked it for like a good half hour or so, and it gets like, I don't know, up to like 40-50 degrees to the touch. All the amps I've accumulated since 1998 are all not reliable after watching the YouTube videos on Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, Fishman Loudbox, Blackstar HT1. I haven't any problems yet, but I know any day now. Don't stress too much about it. With the Hot Rod Deluxe, it's mainly temperature stuff, so if you're not using it for long periods, you might get away with it for years, and even when it does happen, it costs a bit to repair, but it's nothing too hectic, and once you do repair it, it's pretty solid after that. As long as it gets done right. Watch my videos on the matter. The Fishman Loudbox, I'm about to start dealing Fishman because they're one of the companies we can really trust. Sometimes they repair stuff out of warranty for free. Like they literally just charge a postage and that's it. And that's fantastic there. Always happy to send out replacement boards. And their prices for their replacement boards are ridiculously low. Like 45, 60 bucks for a replacement main board, that kind of shit. So any company like that, even if they are not really repairable without schematics and stuff, I think they're pretty tight-lipped about schematics. I have repaired some by just figuring them out, reverse engineering them. You know, they're surface mount and stuff, but they're acoustic amps. They don't cop as much abuse as the valve stuff. Don't get as hot and whatever. Ben, how you going, legend? But yeah, the Fishman stuff sounds good. You often get asked for acoustic amplifiers and people don't want a full PA, they just want an acoustic amp that they can play at the markets or whatever, and they do have a battery powered version. And they don't have a minimum buy-in, so you can have a minimum order of 1 amp. They're cool with that, so because we are a small little hole in the wall operation rather than a fucking multinational company. What time is it? 6:15. This is about when we get overrun with people coming in. We'll see how we go, champions. Alright, so I've got the bigger tip on. I've removed as much solder as I can, but they're still holding on. So, what I might do is go again. Dark Mofo, I wanted to get to that down in Tassie. Fucking, I think Baroness are playing there. I can't go to Tassie on a whim. It actually is pretty expensive to get down there and stay, particularly in peak period, which is that. Brad, you had open a JCM 600 combo. Thoughts on it, if you have, please. I don't think I have, to be honest. 4:15, surely. 6, what? That's 4:15. Did I say 6:15? I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe I saw a 6. Because it's 1600. G'day Ted, what's going on, legend? Could use a Mesa heatsink on that, yeah. That'd be better use, wouldn't it? So JCM 600. I wonder if they're like the JMP things. JTM 60s, I mean. Let's have a look. JCM 600. 600 PCB. Images. Oh yeah, yucky. Bridge rectifiers look like to melt to the things. Okay, so the JTM 60 and JTM 600 look like they might be the same amp, just in different chassis. Hard to find definitive information. I learned the hard way from Lyle's stream not to trust pictures on the internet. Someone asked something about, I can't even remember the brand, but they asked about a some brand of amp, and I found some images of it, and it looked like a piece of shit. But then when I fired off a comment and then had a look later, and it was actually a prototyping platform that company had sold at some point as like a project amp. So that's why it looked like a haywire fucking abortion. But why are you selling like your prototyping platform? That shit should get shredded and thrown in the bin, you know. You don't want a bad example of your amp out there with your name on it. But I guess they needed the cash, I don't know. So yeah, these look like they just have the same issues with the single-sided circuit board that everything has. Down there you can just see, let's see if there's any better pictures here. Sometimes when you actually click on the forums it's worse. You can see there, looks like the fridge has a bit of heat damage around it. That could just be browning of the glue though. It's saying JTM 600 and that looks like a JCM 600 and that looks like a JTM 60 to me. So it might be the same amp. I'd have to look into it. So yeah, the JTM 60s are a fucking joke. Stay away from them. You can't access the thing to test anything. It's the dumbest construction I've ever seen of an amp. It's even worse than the classic 30s. Look at it. Look at the complex chassis. You don't need all that shit. Like, don't know why they forgot how to make amps there for a while. And yeah, because everything's sideways, every time you drop the amp down, the components are trying to jump off the board. So hey, I'll probably stay away from one of them. Sorry. Although I'm probably gonna not give comment on any amps anymore, because as soon as you do, you just get attacked. I'm just going, what do you think of this amp? I don't know, figure it out yourself. I don't know, no comment. As soon as you give a comment, all the people that own the amp come out of the woodwork and fucking attack you. It's weird. Yeah, they're not a current model, man. The JCM 600s and the JTM 60s are like mid to late 90s. So yeah, they're not using a single-sided board in 2025. Yeah, lots of manufacturers still use single-sided boards. So I don't know why. Like you say, there's just, well, if you could save a penny, they will save that penny. Surely the cap's not that tightly glued to the board. There's no movement at all, even when heating the terminals. Oh yeah, no, there we go. So I might use a bit of chip quick on this just to avoid damaging the board. If I can find it. There it is. Yeah, use a chip quick. A little bit of flux. No, that's heat transfer compound. What do you think of Lazy J amps? Well, yeah, pretty good. Recommended by 9 out of 10 deaf musicians from the 60s. Alice in Wonderland moment. Nothing new around here, buddy. Alright, so this is low melting point solder. You can heat it up and it stays molten for way longer. So you can sort of go between the terminals. Duck, 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 duck. You can probably even heat it up with the hot air gun. What are we on? 250. And out she comes. Same for the other one. This is ways you can just make sure you don't damage the circuit board, instead of fucking reefing on the thing until you take the through-hole platings out and everything fails. Can't champ. Did use low melting point on that, didn't I? Is that the old solder? Yeah, I did. I think I need need to pop that up to 300. I think my fan's too high too. Just blasting all the flux away. I'll take that down to 80. You here thanks to Tone Talk. Brad, are you a Kiwi via Australia? No, I'm Australian as, bro. Oh, shut, bro. Left me jandals. No, Jace is our resident Kiwi. He's our New Zealand mascot. Jace has got the pretty severe Kiwi accent too. Say severe like it's a bad thing. It's endearing. The HRD issues wouldn't be solved by a fan because it's direct coupling of thermal issues directly to the board. What would solve it is if they used linear regulators instead of Zenas and dropper resistors, which like every other brand has for the last 40 years. So every now and then a word has a Kiwi touch to it. It's probably just me having a stroke or something. Oh, beach dead spree. Fuck, that's a blast from the past, isn't it? Oh shit. You want a chip? Got no teeth. Come on, champ. Give it up, would you? Must have a significant pad on the other side. None of the caps seem to be failing. I just got to remove them to get access to the area to clean up all that conductive trash. Funky monkey. G'day Rax Effects, what's going on, legend? What's your favourite rack effect? Whales eat plankton. That's right. Oh shit. South African English is an even weirder accent. Yeah, it's oddly similar to Australian and Kiwi. Oh shit, bro. One more cap. E. So I really hope this doesn't happen to all the DSL-40s out there. We're going to have to weigh up the options as to whether or not it's worth doing. Because they're not expensive amps. Newcastle accent is different to a Wollongong accent, different to a Parkes accent. Minor differences, but they're pretty bloody similar, really. I think it's just the biggest differences between rural and city. Having said that, all the city boys are pretending their hardest that they're rural fucking Australians these days too. They've all got utes with jacked up bloody tyres and bloody Caterpillar fucking mud flaps. And you notice these days every bloke under the age of like 29 has a mustache and a mullet. Like every one of them. They look like they're spawning out of a fucking wall somewhere, like they do in computer games, you know? It's such a weird trend. It started off like ironic. Oh, look at my mullet. Now it's like standard. Like we used to call them mud flap and stuff, but now they're just like John. Sounds like it. Yeah, it's Australia wideband. It's weird, isn't it? These blokes used to drive around like hotted up little Asian cars with turbos and shit. And now they've all got shitbox old utes that sound like a fucking semi-trailer truck because it's got no exhaust. And they've all got the same mullet and same mustache. That's really weird. You're going to visit a cool chick in Hampton, Melbourne. Melbourne. But then 2020 hit and that faded away. Ah, never know, mate. Touch base. She might still be up for it. Melbourne chicks are cool. The more hips they are, the better. Newcastle accent. I already read that one. City boys put on a coat and scarf and call themselves rugged. I don't know. Even the city boys here all have a mullet and a mustache. Itzy! What's going on, Tanner? One thing I enjoy about 2020's bloody car stereo industry basically dead and don't have to listen to shitty cars rattling anymore. Ah, there's still a few around. It's evolving back to boganism. It is, eh? And they all drink that, Great Northern shit. Tastes like fucking water. Like every one of them drinks Great Northern. It's like the new VB. You can't even get pissed on the stuff. It's like 3.5% or something. What fucking good is that? If it tastes like shit, it better get me drunk. No, but it really tastes like nothing. I drink beers that you got to chew before you can swallow them. So having a Great Northern feels a little bit like you're not even touching the sides, so to speak. Alright, let's look at the chaos and destruction on the other side now. We've got the sticky flux off. This stuff, I'm just cleaning it off because it's like a gel and it sticks to your fingers. It's really gross. Freaks me out. Ends up getting everywhere. Sex in a canoe, yeah. At gigs, I'm finding that 20 to 30 year olds are playing dress ups as American country boys. Yeah. Yeah, there is a bit of an Americana vibe to some of it, eh? Fair enough. Now that Shady Pines is closed, I guess they've got to get their yayas out in other pubs. Yeah, I am starting to get a bit tired of the over-hopping too, to be honest. I really liked it at the start, but it's getting a bit ridiculous now. It's like a hopping fucking competition. So I've been going back to the Belgian style beers. Problem is, not many of the breweries do that kind of thing out here at the moment. I should get on to Craig and say, mate, it's coming into the cool weather. You need to do some European style beers. He sometimes does a wheat beer, so he tends to do that around November for Oktoberfest. September, sorry. September? Yeah, September's when Oktoberfest is. But I really like the Belgian beers at the moment. I never really got into one before, but they're fucking expensive because they come from Belgium, don't they? Stay. Oop. Miss Löwenbräu. Battle of the Mullets. Billy Ray Cyrus won them. But speaking of, listen to that car. Can you hear it? It's a massive shitbox Commodore Ute with fucking lights all up the running boards. He's got about 8 antennas on it. He's got massive cat mud flaps and no exhaust. It sounds like it's going a million miles an hour. You look out the window and he's doing about 5. And it's an absolute pile of shit. And I guarantee that bloke never takes off his Bundy rum cap. I bet he's got a mullet and a mustache. Try a beer called Stiga Piova. Chimay Red is incredible on a cold night. Yes, it is, but it is 10% too. So if you haven't it, just have one or two. Peroni. Peroni tastes a bit like your average lager. They sort of all taste the same. I love wheat beer too. Like a bicycle with playing cards on the spokes. Yeah, it's the grown-up equivalent of that, I guess. Jesus. This has really baked itself on. Let's get a bit of alcohol on there and see if that loosens her up. Sounded wrong. Sorry, I should zoom in a bit there so you can see what I'm working on. A bit more light. Yeah, it looks pretty horrible, doesn't it? Whiskey can taste like puke. I think it's a genetic thing too. It's like the coriander argument. Some people have been cursed to not appreciate coriander, and I feel sorry for them, particularly if they go to Southeast Asia. Let me get a chisel. Oh, they got the guy from, fuck, what's the band? They're doing an interview. Hasn't updated. I can't remember the name of the band. I'll remember shortly. Da, 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 da. I learned to like the soapy taste cilantro brings, but the thing is, if you don't have that gene, it doesn't taste soapy. It tastes really sort of complex, sort of spice taste, and almost like lime, I guess. Almost citrusy. Maybe that's just because they always use it with lime. I don't know. But yeah, it's like with Thai cooking and stuff. It's invaluable, champions. Mexican. Alright, so it's coming off. Just got to do little by little. Try not to take the silk screen off with it. And we'll use some neutral cure silicone instead to secure these big caps when we reinstall them. Alright, so we haven't burned the board under it. It's just the glue itself, which is good. It means it probably wasn't conducting the full HT. But yeah, there's a lot of crackling going on. Yeah, it's genetic. Yeah, it is. Favorite Belgian beer is Le Fin du Monde. And it's actually Canadian. Right. I have to see if Elaine's had that one. I'm sure he has. He does like a big fat IPA though. I need a smaller chisel. 20 minutes till close, champions. It's been a pretty quiet arvo actually. There's a few customers this morning, but I guess only one of the parents had that gene. Hell, yeah. Feel sorry for all the inbred people out there that can't appreciate coriander. Whiskey is great. I love to pretend I was discerning, but it's just not true. I did get a bit of a delivery today, champions. I order a couple of bottles probably once every 2 months, something like that. Just a little reward for working fucking 7 days a week for a month. I got this one here. Haven't tried that one yet. And Knock. I don't know. Partially bought it because it was funny. Haven't had the Abler for a while. Enabler. Abler the Enabler. And this, yeah, the usual. That's like the supermarket shopping list. So, yeah. Haven't had that one for ages. Never had that one. Always have this one. Fuck, I've got to do some paperwork this afternoon. I've been putting it off. I can't put it off anymore. I told you about the 76% gin that I got from my local brewery, eh? Craig brewed up. You can clean PCBs with it and drink it. Not for that fucking tax rate, I can't. Someone's got to figure out how to nature denatured alcohol and distill out the methanol. But it's got bittering agents too. Incredibly powerful ones. I suppose a chemist could do it. But by the time you've done that, it'll probably cost you as much as a bottle of fucking vodka. There are cheap whiskies out there. Like there's one for like $39, I think, is probably like the cheapest. Something number 5. I saw a guy buying a bottle of it from the bottle-o when I was selecting some beautiful Scotch single malts. And I thought, what a simple life. If only I'd never tasted premium whiskey and could drink that guff. Gin is overrated in my opinion. Just a way of selling vodka at twice the price by distilling it through a dirty sock. So it's, again, coriander and juniper. So there's probably a lot of people that don't like dry London gin because it's got coriander in it. That's like one of the main flavours. Ah, so much glue. So much glue. It's a bit like working on the KRK monitor. KRK rockets. We had a way of making gin from lab ethanol. Well, isn't like gin's just ethanol that's been diluted but also infused with other stuff, isn't it? Like gin's like vodka with, like you can make gin out of vodka. Because vodka's just ethanol. That's why I laugh when people are like, oh, it tastes so clean. Like, it tastes like pure ethanol. You're like, oh, it's such a nice bottle of vodka because it tastes like pure ethanol. It's like the more like pure ethanol it tastes, the better. That's why I never got vodka drinkers. But to me, drinking vodka was like, I want to get drunk and I want it to taste like nothing. Or taste like whatever sugary stuff I put it with. Which is fine, I don't judge. Looking alright down in there. Give it another rinse with ISO. There's a bit more around that little cap there. Better clean that off too. No, go back to the smaller tip. Vodka has a peppery flavour to me. I think they do add flavouring. Like, I don't know much about vodka, to be honest. Do they add flavouring? Is it like they add flavouring to the cheap stuff, or is the reason the expensive stuff expensive is because it's got flavouring in it? Or is it the other way around? First whiskey. I hated whiskey when I first tasted it. But then later on, I think it was during COVID, I started watching a lot of Big Clive. Because Big Clive was streaming like every weekend. And when we were in lockdown, it was a good little thing to watch. Particularly since the second lockdown was like the middle of winter. Was it? No, that was the first one. The second one was just before Christmas. So then Big Clive, his brother came in and crashed his stream. And then they started talking about Ralphie's Whiskey Channel. So then I went and found Ralphie's Whiskey Channel and started watching. And one of the ones he had just reviewed was the Ardbeg 10. And he's talking about how it's such a formidable whiskey. And I thought, fuck, I'm going to try with that because he gave it a really good review. And then I bought it from the shop up at Warramoo Porters, and the guy behind the counter's like, oh, that's a real smoky one. And that made me like nervous. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I got it in over my head. And it did take a while to like get my head around it, but after that it became one of my favourites. Do you consider loudbox artists to be hissy or not too bad? If so, any ideas how to fix that issue? I don't know about it being hissy. Everything's going to have hiss if you crank it right up. It could be, like, does it hiss when nothing's plugged into it, or when you've got like a blanking plug plugged into it, like something plugged in but turned to zero? Because there is a chance it could be a preamp on your guitar causing it as well. I haven't had complaints of them being hissy before. And the ones I've had in, I don't think I noticed anything like unreasonable in terms of the noise floor. So you could have a faulty unit, or you could have a faulty guitar preamp. Oh, I'm about to become a dealer of them, so I can tell you when that happens. Chasing Ghosts, that's the band. Chasing Ghosts. tip should be heated up now. Remove that small cap, and I think that's it. Alright, I don't think that was touching any contacts either. I hate a whiskey too, only drink bourbon, but a guy in Edinburgh told me I haven't found the one I liked. When I told him I didn't like the whiskey, he was right. Told him I didn't like whiskey. He was right. Yeah, so whiskey's so varied that it's almost hard to believe some of it's the same, considered the same drink. It's like if you don't like the smoky, try like a Glenmorangie. Or an Abler. the enabler. And if you find, if you're starting out on whiskey, I think starting on a smoky one's probably a mistake. Looking for the, like I did it, but I do a lot of stupid shit. Start with a non-smoky one and work your way up, I think. Once the smoky ones still hit the spot, but you might be looking for a bit of extra kick. That's when it's time to start going down the smoky route. And don't go straight for the full-on ones either. Try like a Bruichladdich or a what's the one I'm forgetting? Not Bruichladdich. What's the other one? The 12-year-old. Can't fucking remember. So there's Bruichladdich. Bunnahabhain. Sorry, it just came to me. I was trying to think of how to Google this, and how do you Google a word when you don't know what the word is? Like Bunnahabhain. So start on a Bruichladdich, or maybe one of the more mild ones, or a Bunnahabhain 12-year-old. Once you start getting into the slightly peated ones, Lagavulin, no, Lagavulin later on because it's very smoky, very peaty. And then yeah, into your Lechags and your Lagavulins and your Lafroigs. But yeah, if you start with something gentle like a Glenmorangie, just that cheap one they've got is not bad. I think their 12-year-old's pretty good. And yeah, put a teaspoon of purified water in there too, either from a bottle at room temperature or from a water filter. And there's no shame in having a highball either. Some carbonated water. Nice. I'm not a purist when it comes to how to drink it. It's your drink. You got to drink it. So don't listen to anyone. They say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that." It's like playing guitar. It's like guitar amps. If it works for you, it works for you. There's no right or wrong way. You're the one drinking it, bro, and you only live once. In the words of Hendrix, you're the one that's going to drink when it's time for you to drink. So let me drink the way I like to drink. Yeah, everyone in Japan loves a highball, eh? The thing is, they can sneak up on you if you pour them yourself. I did find another cap with a bit of glue residue, so I'll get rid of that one. I haven't got the schematic because I've just been randomly removing caps. That one was touching a terminal. I'll just go any space side if you're looking for some slight smoke. Yeah. Glenmorangie is a Rolling Stone song, is it? Well, I guess that's what they named it after. I'm yet to try an Islay yet. I don't mind smoky, but dislike iodine. We'll stay away from Lafroig then. Yeah, probably probably try Bernaharbin. Yeah, the 12-year-old. It's just a touch of it, but it's detectable, but it's not iodine at all. Yeah, a touch of water in a glass of whiskey is amazing. Doesn't take much, and it opens it up so much. And after you do it, swirl it around a bit, get it mixed in, but then let it sit for a while, like 5 minutes. I know it's difficult, but you know the way to do it. Have a beer going. Put a drop of water in your whiskey while you're having your beer, and once you've finished your beer, give it a minute, clean the palate, and then go to the whiskey. I accidentally drank about 8 highballs before a gig once. Went about as well as it sounds. Yeah, they sneak up on you, the old highballs. Top off shouting at the neighbours. No, don't do that. The other thing is, don't drink whiskey after you've been drinking. I don't get these people that go out and then finish the night with like whiskeys. I guess that's when you stop caring about your money and you just want to have a good time. But your taste gets desensitized with every standard drink and you lose sensitivity. So you end up wasting money on good whiskey when you can't fucking taste it. So don't. Just drink it. Either have it. It's good if you go out late, like if you have dinner or whatever and then you go out for a drink. You can sit on a fucking strong whiskey and really enjoy it. But if you've been out hitting beers all arvo, and then you decide, let's go have a whiskey, yeah boys, it's just a waste of fucking money. You may as well be drinking bloody, you know, Cuddy Sark or something, because you won't taste fuck all. You just get the burning sensation a little bit, but I think you should only drink whiskey for your first couple of drinks, or maybe like when you haven't had that many others, or you're stretching them out, you know. Otherwise it's just a waste of money. You can also aggressively swirl a glass of whiskey to aerate it. Tastes good swirl, it does a similar thing to water. The jury's out on that. Some people say don't do that. I don't know, I've never really tried it. I've got the tulip glasses and I sit them on their little base, and you roll them and they roll around in a circle on the bench, and that coats the inside of the glass with it, and you can really nose it then. Liquor than beer, never fear. Beer than liquor, never sicker. Yeah. Emu sandwich, you know it. Not so much the sickness, it's just a waste of fucking money because you can't taste anything. And even if you could taste, you probably can't remember it. I got to get back into the city to that taco bar we went to and get some of that Don Fulano in my guts. I think it was a mezcal. It was fucking amazing. Never tasted anything like that. My brain's giving me memories of it just thinking about it. Why not vape the whiskey? Well, do you want to stand there coughing for the next fucking half an hour? Fucking vapors. Smoke a cigar like a real man. Is it just me, or is there like a sort of a bit of a stereotypical person that vapes? Like 40-year-old man that still wears baseball caps everywhere. Kind of wears black. Basically Silent Bob. I really hope I don't do all this and then put it together and it still crackles. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Did anyone video record this gig by any chance? Ooh, do we have an arc? I think we might have an arc there, champions. How did it explain it? Where was I? Oh yeah. Yeah, we got some erosion of the fiberglass surface there. R143 to the ground plane. But the other end of the resistors to ground. So why would that occur there? Let me look a bit closer. Going down. Nobody I know Vates wears a baseball cap. 40M wears black is accurate. Yeah, we've definitely got something going on in the fiberglass in this area. Let's see what this resistor is. Of course, it'll probably not make sense. Just like everything I find these days, I come up with a theory and then it's like, there's no logical reason behind it. It's like, damn it. Trying to be like Poirot over here. Yeah, it's definitely arced. Let's pull up the schem. Yeah, I heard about someone IVing alcohol. That's so fucking dumb. Imagine what it'd feel like that. That'd be weird. Like, bang. Drunk. I guess it'd be like a lot of drugs that you'd take to the lungs, I guess, but sort of instant hit. Where am I? Downloads. Did I already download? Yes, I did. Main PCB. Excuse me for a moment. Oh, it's the streets. Hold it down, boy. Your head's getting blurred. Just watch yourself. Hold it down, boy. Your head's getting blurred. I know you can't stop thinking of her. 143. Is this searchable? 143. Hey! Alright, so that's MPSA 100K to ground from MPSA emitter. And it is attached to the HD. So that would have a significant voltage on there. What is that doing? Resonance. Okay, so the resonance... Is that like a gyrator? Is that a gyrator attached to the cathode of the phase inverter? Am I missing something? Audio ground, P ground, whatever that is, and HT. Sorry, I should probably share the screen, yeah? Disk share. Good song. Move on up. Alright, so this is the circuit we're looking at. There's a phase inverter. Here's the feedback coming from the speaker. And you got a resonance control down here. And that's a 5K attached to this down here, coupled through that cap. Then you got two transistors. But there's no connection to anything else here other than HT and two different grounds. So that must be working like a bit of a gyrator. I'd have to figure that circuit out. That's above my head. It's above my pay grade. You got your standard presence there, but the resonance is like a... Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to look into that circuit. That's it's like an active resonance circuit. Is anyone here smarter than me? Is anyone here not smarter than me? Is that like a gyrator type circuit down there? So anyway, our resistor in question here, that join there is the one that's arced over to the ground plane. Now, I didn't notice any strangeness in this area. The controls are working as expected. But, that would have a decent voltage on there. Being 100K and that directly connected via 22K. But, yeah, the margin looks like a millimeter. So I'm surprised it made that jump, although there was a bit of shmoo there. So... having shmoo there is not good because shmoo Shmoo conducts angry pixies, and when angry pixies conduct, they heat up the board and burn it. That's the technical description. Whew. Yeah, I think it's a gyrator with discrete components. Yeah, it's such a weird... Yeah, the resonance in the DSL JVM is a gyrator. Why use that indeed, Ted? Why can't they just do it with the feedback? I don't know. I looked over these circuits recently doing some simulations. So let me know what you find, Wizard. Send me an email if you can. info@bradsguitargarage.com.au, or boofing like the current SCOTUS. Oh, fucking... You're running a fucking clown show over there. I feel bad for you. I like beer. What can I say? It's doing the same in inductor would, but without the drawbacks of a physical inductor. Yeah. Send us if you do some simulations. Shoot us what you found. Be interesting. I haven't looked that deep into it because basically with these amps, considering the budget point of them, really only look into stuff if it's presenting issues. Otherwise, they just carry on corporal. So maybe that was the main source of the crackling, since there's no other burns anywhere. Now I've cleaned it off. And none of the glue was really it was contacting some stuff up here in HT, so that could have been crackling, because that is a likely spot where you could get a bit of breakdown, because there's some very big potential differences up there. Yeah, it's just good to clean this shit off, because it was clearly degrading. And it's that fucking Sony Bond stuff, or whatever they call it. And there is some damage here from the previous guy, realising this as well, which was in the thumbnail, I believe. Oh, always go too far. You can see they've scratched away with probably a screwdriver, a little bit haphazardly. Should I remove that cap? Yeah. Why not, eh? We're in this deep. Pardon me. So yeah, margins, very important. You can see there they've got some big ones. And the HT. They seem to have neglected some of the others. It's very easy to set up net classes in design software. I mean, I use KiCad. Like, I'm not a multi-million-dollar company like these guys. They could use KiCad and probably get a better result than whatever they're using. But like all CAD, it's only as good as the operator. And when you're getting your amps designed by someone on Fiverr, probably a little bit prohibitive. Boof is a cool band name. The Angry Pixies or Conductive Shmoo, yeah. Or the Flibbity Gibbets. Glibbity Flibbits. What is this part? $220 Pico. Assuming that code is correct. C47. I want to make a band expensive car alarm. I love you guys tripping me out with your crazy shit. C47. C47. There you are. You're a bypass cap. An anode bypass cap. Oh, and you got no value. Oh yeah, 220 Pico in combo only. So is there no cap in the head version? Actually, do they make a head version? No, it's the 100 watt, but this board's used for the 100 watt as well. Yeah, that cap's fine. I just cleaned it off, put it back in. Hold it down, boy, your head's getting blurred. No, you can't stop thinking of her. I love the streets. She walked off with that fucking white shirted man. Head version is a cool name. You're just calling everything a good name. Faulty capacitor. Is that a good name? Test okay. Is that a good name? Stop me if I'm wrong. Stop me if I'm wrong. Oh, I love that accent. What happened to the streets? Are they still going? Don't rob yourself. I'm serving the aces and it's game, set and match. Linear phase. It's like you know what's in the repair queue almost. Oh no, that's linear design. Never mind. It's 5:15, so I think I'll turn off the lights. I'll leave them on because it looks pretty in the background, but put up close sign. But I'm going to have to head off soon because I've got to do some bloody... What am I trying to say? Some bloody paperwork. My accountant's on my ass. It's not the accountant's fault I'm late at doing everything. Weather cleared up, Savo. In 2002 that song came out. Fucking hell. I was probably the same age as them. FYM. I was gonna do a doom metal band because you know there's not enough of them in the world. Stoner rock doom metal band called Dog. Just call it Dog, and it could be Delusions of Grandeur, or it could be anything that just have D. I was gonna do diamonds in between each letter, O and then G. And people, no one really knows what it means. Everyone comes up with their own little meanings. That was a bit of a hip thing to do in the 90s, and I'm still stuck there. Accounting is the most boring thing I have ever attempted to study. Yes, it is. It's fucking shit. And it's really shit to do at the end of the day when you don't want to. You want to unwind. Alright, let's repopulate this biatch. I can put in the old snap-on caps. Because the front end caps are they're a mix of Fujicon and the replaced Jamicon with the wrong lead length. I just think I'll change them out to Nichicon. And they're only 85 degree too. Everything else is 105. Probably fine, and the glue hasn't contacted the legs. We've cleaned it off the board, but it wasn't contacted. It wasn't in contact with any of the terminals, so we could probably reuse them. Oh, fuck, I don't know. They're the ones out. They're the ones off my board, so maybe I could just put in some new ones. Fuck it. There they are. But if I dip into them, am I going to have enough to complete my production run? That is the question. The Psycho Killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Fuck you. Ah, well, if I run a few short, I'll just order some more on the next batch, eh? I think I've got some leftovers, though. They won't know what hit them. Fucking top of the line, 10,000 hour Nippon Chemicons. That's what people keep going on about, the cost benefit of the FYM boards with the Marshalls, but the components are that much better than the stock ones, man. Right, these are 105 rated. I think 10,000 hour rated. Nippon Chemicon. They're the ones that use on the FIMs. And they're snap-in. Same capacitance and voltage. 315 volt, 330 mic. Okay, so we've got 1, 2 of them. $315. 220 mic. That could be a different story. 400 volt. 220. Ones on the master boards are 100, I think. That's pretty heavy filtering though. Psycho killer. Oh no, I put too many components in the drawer. No 220Z Legends. They're all 100s. I'll reuse them. The brief has just replaced the ones that are glue affected. That's what I said in the quote anyway. I'm on soldering oil connections. We've got a song getting written here. We had a lighting team called PFL, which meant whatever you wanted it to mean. We had a metalwork company called Woftam, WOFTAM, because he called it waste of fucking time and money. He's a funny bloke. Jesus, they're tight. Tight like a tiger. Ah, bugger, I'll just put the original ones back in. If I haven't got the full set, what's the point? I haven't had these go bad in any yet, so there's no signs of bulging. It's just that glue everywhere. Sorry, I'm just making noises to the Talking Head song in the background. Alright, so let me just double check my values. 2 pages. C13 and 14, 330 mic. C19, 220 mic, 400. 400. That's the second power supply because it switches between two voltage ratings. That's why there's a fuck ton of caps on it. It's sort of got 2 B+ supplies. Sorry, I should be showing you the friggin' screen again. So yeah, it switches between those 2 B+, essentially. That's the high and low power rating. Oh, didn't clear that. Didn't clear the hole, champions. I'm excited. Psycho killer. Let's put a bit of silicone on the base. Oh damn it! I'm out of silicone. Have to pop into the hardware on the way home, I think. It's like the toothpaste that you're in denial. You're in a Mexican standoff with your housemate to see who buys the new tube of toothpaste first. We don't share toothpaste. Oh, Michelle and I do, but it's more like you're in a standoff over toilet paper. So you start running out of toilet paper, and you and your housemate don't want to buy a new roll, so you start using like, seeing if you can do like a 1 or 2 square wipe. Becomes like a game to see who breaks down and buys the toilet paper first. I'm cool. I can wipe my ass on the grass out the front. I can do this all day. Oh. Just use your housemate's clothes. Oh, that's cold. I suppose if you want to live alone. Time for a bum gun. What? Okay. If you say so. Sounds like Aretha Franklin to me. What a voice. Oh, bum gun. Gotcha. Yeah, they're everywhere in Japan. Bit freaky to use at first, because there's none of them in Australia, really. Pretty rare that you see them anywhere in Australia, anyway. Unless it's a Japanese sort of area, or restaurant, or whatever. The Japanese are all about them, eh? I fucking love them. Oh, God. Playing Sugar Ray. Man, I can't believe how bad Sugar Ray are these days. It's pretty rare that a band gets that bad that quick. Well, it's not quick, I guess. They've been around forever, but man, they suck. Towards her career end, Aretha would only perform after getting cash payment. She'd keep on stage with her. Yeah, Chuck Berry was the same. Yeah, he wouldn't go on stage until he was paid because of the scumbag promoters. Good to see nothing's changed. Australia has Asians and Indians. No, we've got all. We're a multicultural country. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Forming the leads, but they're not going to go down anyway because they've got the squashy bit. Oh, you get used to the bidet. Yeah, you get used to it. It's no biggie. Chuck, Chuck Berry carried a gun as well. Really? Well, he's America, I guess. At least he didn't drive around in a tank like fucking like Van Halen did. Threatened to blow people's houses up with a tank. I don't know how true that story was, but it's pretty entertaining regardless. Yeah, it was funny watching the videos of Chuck trying to record with the Rolling Stones while they were at the peak of their Playboy drug taking sort of career. Yeah, I don't think I could go back from a washed ass to a scraped ass. Well, fortunately, most bathrooms around here have a sink right next to the bath, right next to the toilet, so you can put a bit of water on a toilet roll, a couple of wadded up pieces of toilet paper, and do that instead. Sort of a meet you halfway kind of deal. Schematic. Alright, so we've got a 220 mic, 400 volt, 220 400. We've got some 220 315s in series. Don't know. Oh yeah, well I guess they've got to have the capacity of the high voltage when it's switched to that supply. So that makes sense. That's C21 and 22, 21, 22. Yep, correct. A little bit of silicone on them. Really getting low. All I wanna do. Dylan Lewis. All right. Very nice. You prefer a 10-inch speaker or 12-inch miking to record? I prefer a 12-inch, but only if it's in a cabinet that's big enough for it to matter. My favourite 12 is probably Creambacks and ET65s, or a nice greenback that's broken in. Greenbacks can be real crispy to start with though, so I like a well broken in one. I'd love to try a Royer mic. So they sound really good. It sounds like you just try them anywhere and they work, you know, like the 57 can be real picky about where you put it in relation to the dust cap and the cone. The Royer, because it's a ribbon, I guess, larger area, it picks up like a wider variety, so you're less like pinpoint on the speaker. It doesn't sound natural sometimes if you're too close, but then if you move further away you lose the proximity effect, so you lose a lot of bottom end as well. Because the Royer is bigger, it picks up a larger portion of the speaker cone and dust cap. It sounds a lot more natural as a result. I believe that's probably the reason. I don't mind micing up with like a D112 too. It is like a Large diaphragm. People think of it like a bass speaker, but it's just a large diaphragm. Dynamic. You can use it to mic up anything. Especially if you're doing like genty downtune shit with like fucking 8 strings and stuff. Get in my belly. Why aren't you going in? Oh, you still got solder on you. Try again. Da. So that little bit that I dug out, I'll put a bit of conformal coat on that to dry overnight. Won't power it up till it's dried. Because we've got some exposed fiberglass in there. Can become hygroscopic. I'll just give it a bit more of a dig first. What other caps we need? 500 volt, 47 mic. They look a little bulgy. I'm not sure if it's just me. The tops look alright, but the plugs at the bottom look a bit bulgy. That could just be the shape of them, but maybe we'll change those ones to be safe. Waylon Jennings didn't get paid once, so he threw a stick of dynamite at the club as he drove away. Fucking hell. Chuck Berry, yeah. He had a jam with the band and they wouldn't give his gear back. He got it back. Really? What, they just tried to steal his gear? Wow. This is the golden years, bro. Fucking don't pay a bill, you get dynamite thrown at you. Alright, so where are these cats? 247s, 47, 47. Alright, so that's on the HT6 node. And the unused filter node on the preamp. 47 mic, 500 volts. How's a 450 grab you? Mic 500, don't have any. Only got 450s. Out. What have I got over here? Nothing. Damn it! Got all the caps. I've got, oddly enough, got axials but not radials. Anyway, I might piss off champions because I've got to get home and do some paperwork. In your Hot Rod Deluxe repair vids, do you recommend replacement parts with links or brands to buy so I get good quality upgrade parts? I might have in the bookmark, in the description of the video, I can't remember. If not, just, I don't know where you are, so that bears on it quite a bit. If you're in the US, probably just Tube Depot is probably you go. Get the MOD axials. V-Shay caps are available from Mouser, DigiKey, Element 14, you name it. RS Components. That's the V-Shay 5 watt wire wound resistors. Just decent quality half watt carbon films or 1 watt metal films for all the plate loads. The diodes you can get anywhere. Like I say, mouse at DigiKey. Any of the major vendors. Basically, I go with major vendors for everything other than like the valve specific stuff, because none of them stock it. Like they don't do valve sockets or valves or transformers, or generally they don't do axial high voltage caps either. That's like a sort of specialist thing now from basically only MOD, F&T and TAD. They all rhyme. I used Tube Amp Doctor because I can get them from a couple of places locally, and I can also order in bulk from Germany. But MOD caps are a thing too, and they're probably, I think they're more common in the States. Pardon me. We can get them all out here too, but the Tube Amp Doctor I've used exclusively for probably 10 years now, to be honest. 10 years? I switched over to them when Nichicon stopped doing their VX series axials, and F&T just pricing was too high. It's like fucking $20 for a single capacitor. No thank you. So yeah, that's when I switched over to Tube Amp Doctor. Where is the video? Video. No matter how much bloody work I do, there's always someone wants more info. Yeah, no, I linked all the parts. What do you mean? Don't you read the video description? Fucking hell. Come on, mate. Here you go. Look in the video description. There's the video. We tried Tubetown, also a German company. Bonsai is worth checking out. Bonsai is shit. They're a retail company and they cost heaps and take forever to send anything. Tubetown I've heard of, but again, I think it's an American-based retailer. I try to find wholesale sellers because I buy most stuff in bulk. It's the only way you can make a living in this fucking trade. You see the quantity breaks. Like sometimes you're paying half the price for a part because you buy 100 of them or 50 of them or something. So that's the way you want to go. But if you're just doing one amp, you really got no option but to just go to a retail seller and just go with one you can trust and one that's got a good returns policy, particularly with valves, because valves are real hit and miss these days. Tubetown. Where is Tubetown? Tubetown. Tubetown refers to a snow tubing area like the one found in Perisher. Tubetown store. Okay. Tubetownstore.net. Tobogganing. Let's suss out Tubetown together. Jesus. Country of Deliveria. Deliveria. I've read Austria at the same time. Do they even have an Australia? Really? They don't deliver to Australia. Am I reading this correctly? Oh. Oh, hang on. Oh, we're right there. What the fuck kind of arranging is this? It's like... Anyway. F&T. Pricing's not bad. It's about $12 for an F&T multi-section. 12, 15, 12, 13 bucks. Plus tax, so like 15 bucks. It's a pretty good price for an F&T. 71.89. Reissue. A Tungsol doing 71.89, or are they just renaming EL84 71.89s? Head shells are cheap. There you go, bed champions. I feel like I've been awake for 5 minutes and I'm already fucked because winter fucks up my body clock. And I just want to sleep in the arvo, and then I get to bed and I wake up at 2 a.m. Little helpers. Oh, can you buy slaves here? That's mad. Give me a slave. Damn it, that's false advertising. Alright, let's look at the reference of caps. Parts for amps. Panel meters. Ooh. I just like them because they're pretty. Passives, capacitors. Hello? No? Oh, they've got separate. How the fuck does their menu system work? Voltage regulators. MISC? Surely caps aren't under MISC. Am I blind, or is there's no... Oh, there we go. It's got its own category. Electrolytics. Axial. Oh, do they do Vichy? Electrolyte. Vichy. Nice. Oof, expensive. Yeah, they're fucking noise expensive. They're probably just putting a markup on the mouse price though. Looking at those prices. What are they charging for a, say, 22 microfarad 35 volt? It looks like that might be a good option actually. Are they V-Shays too? Nah. If it doesn't say V-Shay, it ain't V-Shay. Information about the manufacturer. Nope. Alright, so they must be IC or something, so yeah, don't worry about that. Have they got fucking good ones though? Probably not for less than €1. Yeah, it looks like they got a few high quality caps, but most are cheapies. Panel meters. You pretend that you're Ashdown. Round. 100 millivolts. You can make a little bias meter. Very inaccurate bias meter. I wonder who's making them. What about speakers? What do they got? Yeah, WGS. Oh, they got the beam blockers. They're actually pretty good. They're not just a gimmick. Oh yeah, they got everyone. Tone speak. Oh, they're major tone dealers too. I guess that's it. Oh, who does the kits? Laser shop. Ooh. Hot damn. Custom shop faceplate. What, can you lay out your own one? Oh yeah. There you go, option. Oh, so it's engraved. So that's like that stuff that's got a real thin film of metallic on the front. It's like what they make trophy nameplates out of. Like for high school sports trophies and stuff. Yeah, okay, so that's cool. A laser shop, so yeah, they do lasers. So probably only that. They do labels too. Chassis shop. Okay, so they're just off the shelf as they're not acrylic chassis. You make yourself a micro granny. Cab simulator. Hey, interesting company. Thanks for giving us a heads up on that. I was unaware of them. I'd seen the logo, but I hadn't looked at them. I just assumed they weren't an option for most stuff. So, high watt chassis. The stupid heat shields that they use. Yeah, pretty cool. I had a horrible feeling that I wasn't sharing the screen the whole time I was talking about that. But no, it was alright. Eurotubes in Portland, Oregon. Oh, so it's American. Oh, hang on, no, that's different. Eurotubes. I thought Eurotubes was literally Germany. Europe. The Joyo Harley Benton Fender clone. I think those are BC components. So yeah, the BC stuff was that's IC now, isn't it? Yeah, no, cool page. Thanks for the heads up on that. And both consumer sellers didn't know Tad was though. Tubamp Doctor, yeah, they've got an online retail store. You just gotta. It's not worth going to them unless you're doing a big order. But they do have lots of shit that you can't get anywhere else. Things like impedance and voltage selectors, certain switches, certain things that no one else stocks. So it helps to have a big database. Oh, excuse me. Big database of all these different resellers to have a complete set of stuff at your disposal. Sometimes you got to go to multiple resellers to get what you need for one job, unfortunately. So it's another reason why turnaround time's not great for amps, because if we were shipping orders for every single part that we needed for one job, and then shipping orders for the next job and shipping orders for the next job, the postage cost would cost more than the fucking parts. And everyone, first reaction is, oh, why are you charging me this much for the fucking valves? Because it only costs this. It's like, yeah, but I'm getting them, like, for your job. So all the shipping and all of that. I have an Excel sheet already with a lot of stores. Yeah, you know who's good for that? Robert Hull on the Facebook, one of the Facebook groups. I've gotten off all the Facebook groups because there's too many fuckwits on them. But he's got a compilation of all the suppliers worldwide. Oh, no wonder the soldering was so shit. They had piggybacked it onto the old connections. Robert Hull, yeah, so get on Tube Amp Repair and Diagnosis page on Facebook, and he periodically posts it. I think he puts it in the file section, but like I say, I left that page because there's too many fucking weirdos in it that wanted to start fights over nothing, so don't need this shit. See you later. That's the internet for you. Not over here in our cool little corner of the internet, eh? When no one bothers us. Alright, champions, I'm going to piss off. Thanks for joining us on this late hour. Kind of alright doing a late stream. A bit more relaxing, I think. Don't you? Probably not for you. But anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining us. Take it easy. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. You know what to do. You know what to do. See you on the next one.